This video contains miscellaneous and random clips of our recent weekend to Gatlinburg. We started off driving from Cherokee across the mountain to Gatlinburg, enjoying the last of the remaining fall foliage of the year. Most of it is on the ground now, and another fall season has come to an end. The next day we walked around town a little bit, and I also want to point out that we went up to Mynatt Park up at the edge of town, up Cherokee Orchard Road, because we wanted to see the memorial that has been erected to the 2016 victims of the Gatlinburg wildfires. Tragically, 14 people lost their lives in those fires. The video ends with a visit from a black bear at our motel that night. We hope you enjoy it.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday evening, November the 2nd, and we are in Cherokee, North Carolina. We are headed to Gatlinburg again.
Been so long since we've been.
Yeah. As y'all know, we've been coming every weekend with a fall leaf update. I don't really know whether to do one this time or not because there's not a lot of leaves left to update, to be honest with you. If you're just now making a trip to the mountains to see the fall color and you listen to somebody that says, oh, it peaks in the first week of November, you missed it. But we do think that once we get over to Gatlinburg on that side, there may still be some lingering color left. There's not a whole lot here in Cherokee. I'm going to show you here in a minute. So this is not really going to be a video of any particular thing, just us talking and riding a little bit. So just let you see some of the scenery, what it still looks like around here. Again, November 2nd, had a really cold night last night. A lot of things have just turning brown and falling now. It was down in the 20s this morning. The higher elevations up on Clingman's Dome this morning, it was 9 degrees. So I have thrown the idea out about doing a sunrise from Clingman's Dome. I'm not happy with the last one we did because it just didn't take a good video. So been wanting to do another one. I know she loves me for that. So,
but we did bring proper attire. Couldn't find our gloves, so we'll have to get some gloves, but warmer clothing for that.
Well, I had my coat last year. I think I just forgot my gloves.
I brought flannel lined jeans, or fleece lined or something, where it's nice and cozy to get your legs.
Yeah, so we did a sunrise video at Clingman's Dome 1 year ago this weekend, in fact. And at the top of Clingman's Dome that morning, it was 19 degrees.
And windy, so it was cold.
So the temperature was like, I don't know, 5 or 10 below, feels like.
Yeah.
That is what it felt like. My hands were so numb, I could hardly move them. But for some reason, I want to do it again. So
you forgot what it felt like.
It was 9 degrees. No, I have not. It was 9 degrees up there this morning, but I think it won't be till maybe tomorrow morning or the morning after that we actually do it. So it'll probably be in the teens up there. It's supposed to warm just a little bit. So anyway, we're coming into Cherokee now. We're going to go ahead and turn the camera around. All right, so here we are coming into Cherokee. Now, we're trying to decide where we're going to have supper this evening. If y'all watched our video from a few weeks back, the local place back home called Anywhere's Fine, and you saw our intro, we're kind of having another one of those evenings this evening.
So we're trying to do process of elimination too.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's not any place in Gatlinburg called Anywhere's Fine for us to default to, so not sure where we're going to be yet. We really don't know. If we're going to be in Gatlinburg or going over to Pigeon Forge, we just don't know. Right now in Cherokee, we're passing a place that honestly I've not set foot on since it's been there, and that's the casino. But I used to go there a lot as a child when it was a little western theme park called Frontierland. How many of y'all remember Frontierland? I used to love going there. As a child, we would stay usually up here on the right at the El Camino Motel. And that needs to be straightened just a little bit. Sorry, folks, this is going to get a little juddery. The camera.
Try to
fix
it. Does that look better?
A little bit down this side. Whoa, that's too much.
It's hard to do this while driving. Yeah. Or he's driving, but while moving.
That's good enough there.
Let me tighten it.
So right here on the right was the El Camino Motel. Now, tragic thing happened there. We had reservations booked there last Black Friday, didn't we? Yeah. Friday and Saturday night. And that's when we did the train ride over in Bryson City, the Smoky Mountain Railroad. We had reservations here, and then when you ask her, I always confirm reservations. We tried to call and their phone had been disconnected and could not get a hold of anybody there, and so we drove over that morning, honestly not knowing if we was going to have a motel, and we did not. And what happened was the owner of the El Camino back there that we just passed had been shot and passed away tragically. So here, it's still pouring down too much. Just hang it up just a little bit. Yeah, he had been tragically shot. We didn't know about it. We went to Peter's Pancakes over here in Cherokee for breakfast, and I saw a police officer there, and I asked him, I said, what's going on out of the El Camino? He told us what had happened. And but anyway, what I was going to say is, back when Frontierland was still there, they had that train, that old Western train, and I'd go outside the El Camino and just sit out there and listen to that train, because you could hear the whistle. Now there's a casino. We've not been back on the premises since it's been a casino, and don't plan to.
Yeah, I've never been, and I don't remember Frontierland. I remember coming to Cherokee once in my younger days. I actually had never been to Gatlinburg until we got married.
So I don't think we've ever done a ride through. Actually, we did do a ride through Cherokee when we saw the elk on the side of the hill, but this is be a little different. Right now, we're just talking. This place you see in front of you right here where we're getting ready to turn right, it's called All Fried Up. That used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken. Then out there beside of that where it said Kobe Express, that's the first Long John Silver's I ever ate at. And we don't have a lot of Long John Silver's around my house anymore, so I don't get it no more.
There used to be one in Pigeon Forge, and since you liked them so much, we'd go over there and they closed down.
Yeah, and it shut down. So we don't have a Long John Silver's anywhere close. But anyway, here in Cherokee, we just turned right onto 441 off of Highway 19, and we're riding along the Oconaluftee River here. And beautiful park over there, a great place for a picnic. Not now because it's cold, but
in the summertime, you'll see little kids in the water, people fishing, and picnicking.
So what I was telling y'all is, when we got up here, we had reservations at the El Camino, and we went up to the door, and there was a sign that said, if you have reservations, go to the Drama Inn, which we just passed. And we ended up staying at the Drama Inn. I didn't put the review up. I did one. First room we got was not acceptable. The second one was better.
we had to switch rooms.
Yeah. The second one was better. But anyway, this is Cherokee. And during the warmer months, when more's going on, there's a lot of Native American dances. Anyway, riding through here, a lot of the places in Cherokee tend to, I know they used to, a lot of the motels shut down for the season. I don't know with the casino if that's still the case or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
But up here on the right is Peter's Pancakes. It's this yellow building on the right up here. That's a great place to eat breakfast. And if you sit by the window, you get a good view of the...
There's a back window area.
Yeah. Just tell me to sit by the river.
Very nice.
We like that.
Yeah, they're always crowded. If you go early, remember we were there very early and was able to get a table.
We left our house like 4:30 or 5 in the morning just to get up here.
But then as the day goes on, it gets more and more crowded.
Yeah, it does. So we're just about at the end of Cherokee now. And as you see, just the colors that are still left are fading and fading fast. And we're making these fall leaf updates because I hope that it doesn't benefit people just this year, but in years to come. And what I've been doing is sharing the links to our videos on some of these Smoky Mountain Facebook pages, because people always ask if they're coming from somewhere else, are the leaves turning yet? Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there are people that comment really, really wrong answers. And they'll say, they don't peak there till the first week of November. And where they're getting that is 2 years ago, it was warmer than normal, and the peak was late. Last year it was right on time, this year it was right on time. But typically, if you're going to plan a trip to the Smokies, again, this is November 2nd. I don't think this is a color anybody's looking for.
No, and then, one thing that you put in the videos, and that's so important too, when you're planning your trip, is like where you're going and what's the elevation.
Yeah.
That is so key.
It really is. Elevation is all the difference when it comes to fall colors, because it always starts up high, as we said in other videos, and then works its way down low. So the thing is, if you want to plan a trip to the Great Smoky Mountains, it doesn't matter if the colors are a little late or a little early. If you plan your trip, if you can do it for the third weekend in October, you are going to see peak colors somewhere. You may have to drive out of Gatlinburg a little bit and go up 1,000, 1,500 feet. But I promise you, third week of October, you're going to find good color at some elevation.
Oh, yeah.
And even the fourth week, even the last week in October, if you drive along Little River Road, it's usually going to be nice. You'll notice this sign here, watch for ice and snow on the road. They've had 2 snows in the Smokies already. And it looks like we got a field full of elk. We were just here the other week and saw this too. So looks like there's about the same number now as there was then.
Oh, that big one's just crossed the road. You see
Oh yeah, we got a bull elk that's just now
Can you
crossing
zoom
the
in
road.
on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. So he's to
That's
the
probably
right.
why the traffic's
Yeah,
stopping
he's to
this
the right
way.
of the cars. And I do not like to see traffic stopping the road to observe wildlife because they're not supposed to. But obviously, if he's crossing the road, I do want people to stop.
Yeah.
We don't want him run over.
He'd put a hurting on your vehicle.
He would put a hurting on your vehicle, and we don't want to see him hurt either, you know.
I'm gonna try to get a
But
picture as we go.
I just want y'all to see the complete lack of fall color that is left on November 2nd. Because again, people, what I was getting ready to say, and I'm not being critical, just people who ask want correct information, and on these pages, you don't always get that. You'll get 100 different answers. When people tell you that the typical peak here is in November, well, you look, November 2nd. This is way, way past peak, way past. So try to come third or fourth weekend in October if you can, for fall color. All right, readjusting the camera to give you a shot of all the elk in the field. There's 50 or 60 elk out there, easily, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, oh yeah. Look at all of them.
If I can find a place to pull off, and I just did.
Right here.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's the most I think I've ever seen. Okay, folks, we just heard the elk bugling, and Chauncey got nervous and turned the camera off instead of on. So
Sorry.
maybe we can get him to do it again, but kind of pan around there. She's doing this out of her clinic.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna
So
do
that steady as you can. Once you look at all those elk, how do you say it's probably right there? I'm working it with the remote control. Just kind of show you. At least 50 or 60 rough estimate.
This one here in front of us, his horns look like they've been, or antlers or whatever they're called, been broken.
You might be blind.
And there's a big one way back there too.
If I need to zoom out or anything.
Yeah, zoom out just a hair, because I don't want it to be shaky. Yeah, that's amazing.
So, hold the camera on me. So, as a public service announcement, I'm going to make this announcement too. A lot of times people want to know, where do I go see the elk? You do not go see the elk in Cades Cove. No matter what you hear, there are no elk in Cades Cove as of yet. There may be one day, but there's never been a picture or a video taken of one there. And if they were there, there would be, because thousands of people go through there a day. You got to go to the North Carolina side right now to see the elk. Cherokee right here in this field. Cataloochee. There's been a couple of young elk that went over on the Tennessee side, but they came back over here. But there are no elk in Cades Cove, no matter what anybody tells you. I think there will be one day. I mean, eventually it's bound to happen. But right here, we're looking 50, 60 easy. So anyway, we're going to head on now and make our way over to Gatlinburg. All right, and while we're talking about wildlife, I have tried to limit my rants lately as far as things that really just bother me. But I do want to raise awareness when you're in around the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, even on the outskirts or even outside the boundary, you're going to see elk, you can see bear. And one thing we're going to do on this channel is we're going to promote awareness and respect for the park and the wildlife.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm going to say something now. I don't know how to say it except blunt. Tourists who come here and don't respect it should just stay home. Because a lot of us that love to come here, we're tired of animals getting put down because somebody breaks the rule, approaches them, then the animal gets aggressive, then the animal has to die because people had to act foolish.
Yeah.
So I just heard, the reason I'm saying that now is because out back there I didn't see anybody. There was also a ranger or two back there, but I didn't see anybody do anything wrong. That's good. But all too often in Cades Cove, we've seen people go into the woods to pursue a bear.
Yes. Even as taking their kids with them on their shoulders.
Yeah, one guy did it with his girl, like 2 or 3 year old girl on his shoulders. I mean, I don't know what has to be wrong with anybody that would take their daughter into the woods where a bear's at. I don't, what has to be wrong with somebody like that. Especially when you see the bear and you're actually pursuing the bear. But something happened this week. I just read it. I've actually read it a couple of times. a section of the Blue Ridge Parkway had to be closed south of Asheville, or near Asheville. I don't know if it's north or south. It was around Asheville. You know what some tourist was doing? They had found a bear cub and were picking it up and holding it.
Oh, I hadn't heard.
You hadn't heard? Yeah.
No.
That just happened this week. So they've had to close down part of the national park because I'll just be nice. Some person, they actually pick up a bear cub and holding it. Now, there's a couple of things wrong with that. Number one, you're not supposed to do it. Secondly, you endanger the bear cub by causing it to lose its fear of humans. Third, where there's a cub, there's usually a mom. Now,
and moms can be protective.
Yeah, and then if she does get protective, she'll get put down. And there's no sense in it. Honestly, if people can't act better than that, they ought to just stay home or go somewhere else. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But
sad.
anyway, but everybody back there was doing what they're supposed to do. Wildlife's a neat thing, but you just got to be smart, you know. But all right, well, enough of the rant. That's just, I've read that several times this week, and it's just irritating because you just wonder when people come on vacation, do they leave their brains at home or do they bring those with them? You know, and it makes you, stuff like that makes you wonder. Just like you see, now, no color left. This is not the time to come for fall color, first week in November. Sometimes you get lucky and there will be some. I do think Gatlinburg will still have a little bit. That's just my prediction. I've not been there. We've not been to Gatlinburg, what, a month?
Yeah, I think so.
Whenever we did Preacher's Smokehouse and Cheddar's, that was our last time. I think that's been a month, or maybe 3 weeks ago. I don't remember now. But I don't look for there to be much color left. But beautiful, beautiful drive right here along the river. It's about 5:20 Thursday evening.
We set the clocks back Saturday.
We do set the clocks back Saturday, yeah. Our pastor announced that last night. And then he said, for all you people that are usually late, don't worry about it. Because basically he said, maybe you'll get here on time.
Yeah, really.
So, anyway, you have to know him. But I'm going to turn the camera off now a little bit. If there's anything else to show, we will. If not, we'll cut it back on when we get into Gatlinburg. So stay tuned. Okay, now here on East Tennessee side of the mountains, I told y'all that I thought there would be a little more color over here than on the North Carolina side, and I was correct on that. There's still way past peak, but we've hit a couple of little areas where there's actually, where the sun hits it just right, it still kind of glows a little bit.
Yeah, back there in the sun, it was real pretty.
Yeah, but again, it's pretty much over with as far as the fall foliage this year. But we are getting back into some low elevations in East Tennessee near Gatlinburg, so just wanted to show you a little bit of what's left. In case y'all hear that little occasional squeak noise, I hope it's not being picked up on the video, but I'm sure it is. We don't know what it is either. It's something my truck's done for about 2 years now. Don't know if it's a belt, a pulley or something. It don't affect the way it runs. It just is a little annoying. I kind of have learned to drown it out. Truck runs great. Just don't know what that little noise is. The first time I heard it about 2 years ago, I thought there was like a mouse up in there or something. But it comes and goes. It goes away for a while, then comes back. So anyway, if y'all are hearing that little occasional squeak, it's still a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in downtown Gatlinburg now, and folks, the fall leaf season, I believe, is officially over. No color hardly at all to mention here. Is there?
No, and they're putting up Christmas lights.
Yep, they're putting up Christmas lights, so the changing of the seasons is upon us.
Yep.
Thank y'all for watching this little short, pointless video, honestly, I guess. Pointless. Well, we've been doing fall leaf updates. This just kind of seems like a little bit of a downturn. But anyway, the fall leaf season, I do believe, is over.
So where are we standing right now?
We are actually on top of a parking deck.
We are on top of the parking deck right down here at the junction of 321 and 441. That heads over to Pigeon Forge right there. This heads back out to Cosby and to Interstate 40. And looks like a lot of people are coming into Gatlinburg, doesn't it?
It looks like it.
It's Friday morning. We got here last night before the influx of people, but it looks like it's starting now, Friday morning. So we expect another busy weekend here in Gatlinburg. And as I'm showing you now, just a little bit of lingering color left. November 3rd.
It's been a beautiful season.
Yeah, beautiful fall season this year. Trolleys, that's one of the ways to get around town.
Even it'll take you to Pigeon Forge and Dollywood, won't it?
I know they used to have one that ran to Dollywood from here. This one will pretty much take you around town and out the parkway there, out 321. Alright, here's something right here downtown Gatlinburg. We've never actually walked inside of it before, but we're going to now. Little old cabin right here. It's the Martha Jane Ogle cabin. Try to zoom up on that just a little bit. First house built in Gatlinburg in 1802. Alright, so you can actually walk inside of it and you can sign the guest book there. Here's a little map to kind of show you where you are and help you find what you're looking for in town. And on the other side as well. It's just written out a little different. But anyway, here's Gatlinburg. As you can tell, very popular place. I guess there is a down season here now. It will be January and February, but it's really not like it used to be. We used to come at Christmas time and the town was not crowded. Now that's like one of the peak times. But certainly the month of October and early November, people come to see the leaves. So we're here as they're taking out the fall stuff. I don't think we've ever been here on the transition before. Although we've been here the same weekend before. Maybe we just didn't see it, but yeah, they're taking out all the fall decorations in town and replacing them with Christmas decorations. Last time we were here 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, I guess it was 4. Right there where you see those trees, that was a nice fall pumpkin display. So,
All right, now a little known place up at the edge of Gatlinburg as you go into the National Park, actually right before on the Cherokee Orchard Road, is a place called Mynatt Park. It was established in 1974. Beautiful little park here with picnic tables, basketball goals, and
Here on the creek.
right here on the creek. Let me get a little closer to that creek, and I'll be showing you more of that. But as you can see, the fall leaves have come down, and it's just a very beautiful sight right there, with the creek running through, with the leaves on the ground. But we are here, and I'll let Chauncey tell you why we're here, because she wanted to come see this. It's, I believe it's a wildfire memorial.
Yeah.
So come over here and tell us why we're here. And then I'm going to show that beautiful scenery that I'm looking at. But
So some subscribers of ours in California, Robin Melody, she had messaged me a while back asking about the park here, and she said that there is a memorial here about the Gatlinburg 2016 fires, and she asked if we'd ever done a video on it. And so today we were going to be kind of doing some rides and stuff. I said, let's go check it out. Let's look at it and go check it out.
yeah. Yeah, 7 years ago this month, the city of Gatlinburg, it had not rained in weeks, and because of two boys who were throwing matches down inside the national park, up by the chimney tops. That's where the fire actually started, about 7 miles from here. It was so dry, and then that night in November, hurricane force winds blew the fires down into town, and Gatlinburg suffered major damage. Unfortunately, 14 lives were lost in that, just because of irresponsible actions. And there is a memorial here to the, I guess we haven't seen it yet either, we're going to walk down there, but there's a memorial to the victims of the Gatlinburg fires. But I want to show you this beautiful creek that's running through here. Yes, we came up we were actually up here 2 weeks before the fires for our son's wedding. And then we came back, in December, I guess, around Christmas, which was after the fires. The fires occurred 2 weeks after we were up here. And we were watching videos of it. It's very hard to watch. There was an initial news report that the Sleepy Bear Motel that we stay in had burned. That report was actually false. It was reported erroneously from a news station in Knoxville, and
It was the building beside
it was actually the building across the creek behind it.
Well, yeah.
It was the apartment complex. There was a little creek, Dudley Creek, that runs behind the motel, and there were a set of apartments behind it that did burn. But a lot of things did burn, and it was interesting. When we came up here, you'd see 2 or 3 cabins that were just burned to the ground, and the one right next to them was untouched.
Yeah,
And then on the other side, there'd be another one burned. We saw burned out automobiles. If you rode up Ski Mountain Road up towards over Gatlinburg, that was probably one of the worst areas. It was just total devastation up there. Even like a block from the city where we're staying now, I don't know how that motel survived. A lot of things right there burned as well. But Gatlinburg's pretty much recovered. You can still see remnants of the fire if you look at the Gatlinburg Sky Bridge. That hillside used to be a forest. Now it's pretty much bare.
Things are slowly starting to grow again.
Nature's finally starting to come back. The chimney tops, you can still see that they're charred when the leaves are off of them. But in the summer months, they're getting leaves again. But this was a very devastating time in 2016 for this community, and as people who love this community and come here on vacation, it was hard to watch. But the people who lived here and lost, one man lost his wife and his one daughter. Was it 2 daughters? He and his son had gone into town, and he got a call from his wife that they were surrounded. He told them just to get out however they can, and they didn't make it. Just a very tragic situation there. But anyway, there is a memorial here about the wildfires, so we're going to go look at it. I'll let you see a little bit of the park here. Many picnic tables. This basketball court up here looks in relatively good shape, so I'm assuming it's relatively new. The way you know it's relatively new is that the rims are not hung on and the nets are still there. Just about any public basketball court doesn't last long. And it's sad to say, but that's just the fact. But I don't remember this sidewalk here at all, and it looks like they're still doing more stuff over here.
Yeah, it looks like they're adding more to it.
But yeah, we came up here actually one day to do our Bible reading just by the creek, and I don't remember this sidewalk at all. I'm not saying it wasn't here, but... Okay, so here we are at the actual memorial itself, and it actually does show the names of the people who passed away. And before we go over there, let's look at this. Alright, so let's step over here and look at the memorial. These are the 14 people who lost their lives. And I am correct, it was 2 daughters that passed away. I'll get to those in just a moment, but we do want to show everyone in memory of those who lost their lives. And again, this is the 2016 Gatlinburg fires. Now this is one of the daughters of Michael Reed that passed away in the fires that night. This was his wife. And she had a testimony. I don't know if y'all remember the cardboard testimonies people used to do, where they wouldn't say anything, they would write their testimony on different pieces of cardboard. She actually, I assume it's still on YouTube, she had one about being abused growing up. And so she had a really tragic life and also a tragic end. But the good part about that is, from my understanding, they had gotten saved as a family 3 months before the fires. Yeah, so that's good. Tell you what, that's cutting it close, but glad that happened. And I guess this was the other daughter. Now, Ed Taylor, he actually had a wedding chapel up here. He performed weddings. Do you remember we heard him speak years ago? We didn't know him. Never met him, but we were at a graduation service at a Bible college, and he was actually giving the speech that day, so we actually did hear him speak. But he had a wedding chapel up here. Tell you one thing I liked about him is when all this other types of, when marriage, let me just say it this way, when marriage was redefined into what it's not and never was, he took a stand on it, says we're not doing that here at this chapel. So my hat's off to him for that. And here are the last victims of the fire. 14 lives in all lost in the Gatlinburg fires. And here's a little plaque talking about what actually happened November 28, 2016. Alright, over here, this is like a much smaller version of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Kind of a circular wall here that, instead of actual people's names, this gives tribute to people, I guess, who helped out. Actually, let me pan across here and get it first, the whole thing. That's going to be a lot to take in, y'all. So just real quick. Looks like people came from all around. Neighboring counties, Cumberland County, all the way up from Dandridge, Blount County. That's a neighboring county to here. 4 more sections here. Alright, and the last one. And of course, I'm not sure if you noticed, but going across the top there is a scripture reference. So I want to capture that really quickly. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, actually is what we read the King James. From whence cometh my help? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Psalm 121, 1 and 2. And you know, I have to say, I don't know how I cannot say this. As bad as it would be to lose your life in that manner, it's nothing compared to leaving this world without Christ. And as terrible an ending as that was, if those people knew the Lord, and I know at least some of them did, that's the last suffering they're ever going to feel. I can't imagine leaving this world and being apart from God for all eternity, though.
Right.
That's a fate far, far worse. Alright, so we're taking a little drive just up above the town of Gatlinburg a little bit. Just again to kind of give you some perspective on the end of the fall leaf season. It's still technically fall on the calendar, but the leaf season is coming to an end. So there's still, in a way it's beautiful even like this, with most of the trees bare. Just what's hanging on is kind of turning like a bronze or brownish color. Even that's kind of beautiful in its own right.
It is.
But sorry about the sun. We're going right towards the sun.
Right into it.
We've actually been up this road before several years back when there was a light snowfall and there was still fall color, and you talk about a beautiful mix.
Oh, very pretty.
The way the leaves were, you could see the reds and the yellows and the orange coming through the snow. It wasn't a huge snow, maybe what, 2 inches at most.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful the way it was weighting the trees down, and something to see. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. I heard that noise and knew what it had to be.
Yeah, he's looking for a snack.
Well, ain't nothing else in there. I'm going upstairs now. Okay.